Hi everyone, my name is Lynn. I'm a senior creative writing major and I work as a digital media intern on campus. Today we're here at the Burke Library where students not only check out books and do their homework, but also have access to a ton of research and design opportunities. We've got the research tutors, we've got the data science tutors, we've got the digital media tutors. They provide a lot of peer-to-peer support across all kinds of disciplines, so it's where a lot of things really come together. So I'm really excited to share with you all the stuff we've got in here. So let's get started. Hey Kayla, how's it going?
Hey Lynn, what's going on?
So tell me what we got here.
So this is the 3D printing station. We have two 3D printers, and here students can use this for coursework and for research projects. We use software like Tinkercad to create 3D models. My last project that I just finished is this Kirkland College seal.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So it started off as a 2D image, and I used Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop to extrude the model, and then we printed it off. It was really exciting. We have 3D scanning hardware. You can scan real-life objects and create models off of those objects, and you can have physical copies here, or you can actually upload those scans into VR.
Oh, that's really cool. Hey Allison.
Hi Lynn, how are you?
We've got Allison, a digital media tutor here. Why don't you talk to me about what you know about VR?
Well, I first got in contact with VR through the Hamilton Library as a digital media tutor. One of the big reasons that I decided to actually go forward with VR was because I wanted to learn about Unity, and I wanted to learn about what VR was and how to construct these realities. I ended up doing my senior thesis with the software.
What are you doing in your thesis project?
I am studying pain perception. I basically have a virtual robot that lowers a virtual needle into a hand. And so I'm seeing if different positions that you are physically putting your other hand on your body will mitigate how much pain that they perceive in that situation.
You know, what value did that add to your thesis?
Well, my thesis would not exist right now. Just a lot of time was going to be put into it, but with a supportive LITS, I was able to do that.
Here we've got Luke and Colin. Luke is another senior digital media tutor. Tell us about these.
Yeah, so I've been using drones for the past 3 years since I've been here for like making films, photography, that kind of stuff. And I work with LITS department. They help us check them out, they help us fly them, they help us basically do whatever we want to do with them. And they're certified to fly them, and they have the licenses and permits, so it's really easy to just like book an appointment, go on a flight from whatever you want, and they're great to work with, and they produce really cool images. Yeah, I worked on a project 2 years ago called Drone on Drones. We worked with the music class, and they made music for our films, and we used the drones to make images, and it was really cool because we got new angles, we got to explore new things. I saw the campus from the sky, which I'd never seen before. It was just cool to see like that different perspective that we never really get to see. Ideally, want to go into commercial video, like filmmaking, and like learning how to use drones here definitely is going to help with that because drones are bigger and bigger in the market these days. So just knowing how a drone works and like working on knowing how one flies is helpful for the future for those kind of jobs.
Hi Colin, so you're in the archaeology department. Tell me about how you use drones in that kind of work.
Sure. So when you think of archaeology, most people think of digging in the dirt.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily think of flying through the sky. And
Sure.
Actually, there's been a big move in archaeology to do things that are less destructive, because when we dig, we're destroying the material evidence that's there. We record things so that we can learn from it in that process, but drones provide a new type of technology that allow us to collect data, but in a way that's unobtrusive and it's not going to destroy the materials and the sites that we're interested in. Students were out there flying passes of both video, but also doing topographic mapping, so using a process called photogrammetry, which allows you to use images to reconstruct a kind of 3D version of a landscape. Students are trying to get trained in all the different techniques of archaeology so that when they go and hit the job market, they're going to be really well prepared for all the different types of ways in which they can study the past.
We're now going to take a look at a couple examples of how digital learning tools affect different areas of Hamilton. First up, athletics. Yeah, so tell me about the space and I guess what's new about it that wasn't here last semester.
Yeah, so this has been a great asset to our men's and women's golf programs. Will also be a wonderful asset to our physical education programs, right? So we can see all sorts of data, all different swing parameters from the TrackMan, and we can use that data to make swing changes.
Normally, you know, we have 2 feet of snow on the ground, can't really get outside, it's 25 out, but been able to come in here with a teammate and really get some good work in where other people don't really have that opportunity up in the Northeast. This is state-of-the-art facility where we can play any course in the world and do anything we want.
This partnership between athletics and LITS is going to be very valuable. I'm very fortunate that I'll be able to not only work with just student athletes, but also students across campus who will see the sport from a different angle. The data science is a very important piece in this, and will bring athletes and non-athletes into this space.
From golf simulators to the arts, we now go as we travel across campus to the Kennedy Center for Theater and the Studio Arts, home of the Digital Arts Studio. Primarily used for the digital arts program, the studio is open to just about any creative academic need.
When COVID hit and we had to change the way that choirs perform, well, that most musicians perform, a lot of people started doing virtual choirs, which are these very familiar blocks of people singing together, and they all record their parts on their own and then it's mixed together by someone. I got in touch with a company in South Africa, and they had this vision for us to use green screens and superimpose the singers in different contexts. Being new at Hamilton, and I was so happy to learn that we have this wonderful green screen studio. We're very lucky to have an incredible audiovisual services department here at Hamilton. They were able to set up multiple cameras for us, and not only could we use those in the space, but we had support from people in the department. I just felt surrounded by so much knowledge and support the whole time.
We hope you've enjoyed seeing some of the opportunities we have here at Hamilton that involve research, the arts, technology, and how all these things can combine. Yeah, thanks for coming along, and I hope you choose Hamilton.